Hi, my name is Grace. Welcome to my channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 6 things I wish I knew earlier in my career. I've been working in corporate America for 20 years now. And so in this video, it's basically me going back 15, 20 years ago to talk to my younger self. These are the tips I would have given myself. The first tip I would give myself is don't be afraid to speak up. Like, don't be afraid to voice your opinions. Now, I know when I was in meetings earlier on in my career, I would scan the room and see like all the people that were a lot more experienced than I was, that knew a lot more than I did. And in my mind, that was the reason I should like shut up. So I never spoke in meetings. If I had an opinion, never voiced it, because obviously there's somebody who's smarter that will have a better idea or a better opinion. My opinion doesn't make any sense or sucks. So that's just, I never spoke up in meetings, and I wish I had, because first of all, the best discussions or the best solutions come from diverse opinions. So you giving your opinion is actually helping the company. So by not doing it, you're actually doing a disservice to your company, because if you have an opinion that might be, what helps crack the nut or what helps the discussion, you should give it. The second thing is being able to speak up confidently and being able to really voice what you think. That's not just something that's going to happen out of the blues. It's something that you have to practice. And so it's something that I should have started practicing earlier in my career. If I had an opinion and just voiced it, over time you'd get better at like speaking up and doing that. And so by not doing it early enough, I think I almost delayed that part of like my progression. The second thing I would tell myself is that if you make a mistake, don't overstress. Like it's not that serious. I know that if I made a mistake, or if I was having a presentation or conversation and I said something and I think I should have said it differently, I would spend hours on end just thinking about it. I would be like going over it over and over in my head. Like if I said something that I think I could have said differently, I would be like thinking, okay, this is what I should have said. I would even like have the conversation with the right words. Like I wasted so much time and energy when people have pretty much already moved on. Nobody cares that much. So I put too much energy into like anytime I made mistakes, and I would go back and tell myself, really, if you make a mistake, like learn from it, acknowledge it, learn from it, and then just move on. And that's it. That's all the energy you need to put into it. Don't waste so much time like just beating yourself up or putting yourself down for it. Now, on the other hand, the third tip I would tell myself is that if you have successes or if you do something really well, like celebrate it, showcase it, make sure that it's visible. Now, I did a video about how to advocate for yourself at work. And in that video, I talk about how important it is for you to showcase your own work and your own like successes, because nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's watching you to see how well you do. Nobody's going to be there to stand up for you. You have to be the one driving that and doing that yourself. And I'll just give an example. I know earlier in my career, like I'm an actuary by background. And so we have to take a series of 7 to 9 exams to like get your credentials. And ever since I started working, I took all those exams and passed them on the first try. And that's quite the feat, because most people take like 2 to 3 tries to like pass an exam. And so the fact that I was able to pass them all on the first try and get to my credentials really quickly, like I was extremely proud of that. But the way I acted like I was embarrassed. Like I was proud of the work I put in. I was proud of the hard work of like studying really hard and actually passing the exams. But I didn't want to talk about it. I swept it under the rug. If it came up in discussions, I was like quick to move on to the next topic. It's like you would think I was embarrassed about it, which makes no sense. And really, I should have been, proud enough to just say, hey, yeah, I did, I'm proud of myself. I studied hard and this is the result. I was able to pass these exams, like showcase it, be proud of it, celebrate it. So, I was putting so much energy in like the negative things, and then I was putting zero energy on the positive things. And so if I could go back and like talk to myself, I would absolutely tell myself to like reshuffle that energy and put some, and take it away from the negative and put it in the positive. The fourth thing I would tell myself is that I needed to start investing earlier. Like I wish I had started investing in my 20s. Now, I did participate in my company's 401k, so at least I did invest a little bit, but I mostly saved or spent. And putting money in savings accounts, like what do savings accounts earn? Is it like less than 1%? And then spending, obviously, it's good to enjoy your money, but I did not invest at all, and I wish I had. And there's two specific accounts that I wish I had invested in and I knew nothing about. One is a Roth IRA. A Roth IRA is a retirement account that you put in money after tax, but it grows tax free. And so by the time you're withdrawing the money, and of course there's rules around when you can withdraw, you can basically take out the money and pay no taxes on all the growth. So imagine if you had started investing in your 20s, or how much your money is going to compound and grow, and then you don't have to pay taxes on it. Like that would have been amazing. So I wish I had started investing in a Roth IRA in my 20s. The second account that I wish I had invested in is a health savings account, or an HSA. Now, an HSA is tied to like medical plans, and so there's obviously everyone has a different situation in terms of like their health and medical history and what they need in terms of like medical, services. But for me, I was pretty healthy, and so I really should have invested in an HSA because you put in the money pre-tax. The money grows tax-free, and then when you withdraw it, if you use it for medical expenses, you pay zero taxes. So again, you can imagine putting in money in your 20s pre-tax. You haven't paid taxes on that money. It grows tax-free, and you take it out and you pay zero taxes on what you take out, to pay for medical expenses. Like that's amazing. And if in the future you don't even need the money for medical expenses, it pretty much works like a 401k. So if you take it out during like your retirement years, you will have to pay taxes, but at that point it switches to a 401k. But when you're older, you're probably going to have health expenses. So imagine if you have this huge bucket of money that's going to pay for your health expenses, and you can pay for it tax free. I mean, I wish I had invested in that, but I never did. And that's something I would have told myself. The fifth tip I would give myself is that when problems come at work, when problems come up at work, which they will, come with a solution to the problem. Now, that's something that's expected of me today. My boss always tells me, if something has gone wrong and you need to tell me, like, don't just tell me the problem, give me your thoughts on the solution to the problem. So it's an expectation. But early in my career, I know that I probably just told my boss if something was wrong, I'm like, this is wrong. And then I waited for him to give me a solution to fix the problem. But if I had just spent a little bit more time to like think about a solution, and then what I provide to my boss is, this is a problem, I think this is maybe how we can start to fix it, but wanted to get your thoughts, like that would have been so much better, because you're helping your boss you're making your boss's job a little bit easier, which only will help you. The sixth tip I would give myself is, when you're doing your work, do it as if there's nobody that's going to review it, and it's going to go straight to the final destination. Now, when you're early in your career, when you do your work, there's probably like a bunch of layers of review before your work gets to the final destination. And so because of that, you might be careless, because you're thinking, well, even if I make a mistake, I know it's going to get caught up somewhere in the review cycle, so that's fine. But if you had a mindset of, I'm going to do this work as if there's nobody who's going to review it, what you're going to find yourself doing is you're going to peer review your work even better, make sure that it's accurate, like really do a better job of reviewing your own work. You're going to put yourself in if the final destination is, for example, I worked in a consulting company, so a lot of times the things that I was producing was for a client. If I'm thinking, what does the client want, and there's nobody else between me and the client getting what I'm producing, I would put myself in the mindset of the client and what it is they need, and then I would produce work thinking about the client's needs. And let me tell you that, you doing what you asked, that's good work. But you producing something that your boss can just basically take and pass it along with minimal like changes or edits, now that's superior work. And that's what's going to get you like your next like really good rating in the performance review. It's going to get you really good like raises, because you're producing superior work. It's going to get you that next opportunity. It's going to get you that promotion. So that's one tip that I up until today I still do, which is, when I'm producing work, I always act as if the work that I do is going to go to the final destination right away, with nothing in between. So those are the 6 things that I wish I knew. I hope you found them useful, and I will see you in my next video.